Oh, hey there. Didn't see you there. How you doing? I'm Dusty Dude, and this is an iron farm. 1.16, baby, let's go. So in 1.16, the iron farms didn't really change all that much. They made it so that the villager pods, no longer need the workstations here. And I think that was the biggest major change. I made some changes to my design. I swapped these beds to face the other way. That makes it so that these guys don't drown. I had a lot of issues in my SMP where these guys were drowning, which is weird. It only seemed to happen on a server for some reason. Also, I added this in just as a safety precaution, because if this block right here got struck by lightning, it was not covered before, then all these guys would turn into witches and you would have to replace them. This design currently gets around 700 iron ingots per hour, and that's about where iron farms max out. Each villager pod, you can get around 350 max iron ingots per hour. You can make as many modules of this as you want. You just have to make sure that the spacing is correct. You need to make sure that each villager pod is about 25 blocks away to ensure that these guys aren't picking up on any other iron golems and that sort of thing. And we'll also be going over this on and off switch for this thing, which is, I mean, you can just see it right here. But let's get into this build, boys. Let's get it. Yeah.
Do you want to play on a Minecraft server with me and receive some other really cool benefits? Definitely consider becoming a Patreon today. You can learn more on the Patreon site, which is linked down below. This was a very nice comment for someone to leave on one of my videos, so I wanted to shout out the comment really quick. If you want one of your comments to be shouted out in a future video, all you have to do is leave a nice comment on this video. If you need help from me or have any questions for me, or you want help on any of these designs, the easiest way to get in touch with me is on Discord. The link to join the Discord is down below. Cool, so let's get back into the video.
So the main idea with iron farms is you need a village, which a village for iron farms is determined by 3 or more villagers that have beds. So you need a village to spawn iron golems. You also don't want any other iron golems around. If you have other iron golems around, these guys will not spawn any more iron golems. The other factor is that they need to be frightened, and the zombie is close enough to actually frighten these guys. Even though they can't pathfind to each other, they can see him. And there's a concept that these guys need to see the zombie, but not all the time. They need to be able to sleep, to be able to find their beds to be considered a village. They also need to be frightened by this guy at night. So the water right here actually helps with that. The water makes them bob up and down. So at night they'll see him, but then they won't see him. So for the second that they won't see him, they'll actually be able to sleep. And then one of their other villager friends will get frightened, and they'll make them get frightened, and then they'll bob back up and see him again, and then be frightened again, and then that's when they'll spawn an iron golem. I did make 2 pods of this. You can just make 1 pod. That would be fine. You get about 350 iron ingots per hour, which is, more iron ingots than you'll need in single player unless you're making, a huge build out of iron blocks. I do like building with iron blocks, so I did go ahead and make 2 modules here just because it's really easy to do. Once you've set up everything else, all you have to do is make this little piece over here, and then you'll double the output. I also have all the water pushing the iron golems to the back here, because if you have them pushing them to the forward and they drop down in the middle or off to the side over here or something, this other pod is going to see the iron golem falling down, and it's going to say, okay, I saw an iron golem, we don't need an iron golem on this side, let's just use the iron golem that was over here. So to start this thing off, you need to build up 20 blocks. So 20 blocks like this, and then you can use any building block and put on top of that. I'm just going to use a block of iron, but as I said, you can use any building block for this. It can be stone, wood, plank, whatever you want to use. And to set up this little villager or village pod, you want to put 3 beds that are pointing away from the center block. Once you have those down, you can actually break the blocks under it. And you want that because you don't want the villagers to think that they can pathfind over these blocks. You're also going to want to put up 2 blocks like this. And then you're going to want to put trapdoors along all the edges of that block right there. So you can go ahead and get rid of those ones, get rid of that one. And you also need a trapdoor down there. So it should look like this. Once you have all this in place, you can go ahead and drop the water in there like that. And then you're also going to need to put carpet on top of all the trapdoors and that piece right there. And I just do that so that you don't spawn anything on there. I also like to light it up by putting a torch on the back just like that. But yeah, I guess the key concept that you need here is you do need the carpet on top of the trapdoor right there. It won't work without that perfectly like that. You're gonna need the water in there, and the trapdoor helps them not drown, but they're gonna be sleeping this way, so they're not gonna drown anyways. So I don't really think that this trapdoor is necessary, but I'm just gonna keep it in there to be safe. Once you have all of this in place, what you're gonna do is count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. On that 7th one, go ahead and put a slab just like that, and then you can get rid of these blocks just like that. Now we're also going to put an on-off switch on this thing, and the on-off switch is going to go on this space right here. So go ahead and put a block one below that. Get your sticky piston, put that in place, and then you can break that block. So now that is essentially the on and off switch. That's on, and then that's off. So let's go ahead and keep it on for now. And then all you need to do is to put 2 blocks on that side right there. I think it looks kind of weird when you just do that, so I do put the blocks around the outside like that. I also like to light it up with torches on the side just like that, and we can get rid of this iron block as well. We also need to put a block above here. This is where the zombie is going to go, as you can see right there. And you do need a block above him. It doesn't really matter how high you put it or where you put it. You just need a block above him. Make sure it's not spawnable, because otherwise you're going to be spawning iron golems up here. I also like to light this up. And then that's going to prevent the zombie from getting burnt from the sun in the middle of the day when he's just chilling right there on that block. The zombie's not going to move from that block, so that's the only block you need to prevent the sunlight coming down and burning him from. So the best way to get a zombie is you have to wait till night, get zombies that come after you, and then push a little cart towards them and get them in like that. They're going to punch you and kind of hit you when you're up close to them and pushing the cart, so be prepared for that. They're not going to hurt you enough to actually kill you. I mean, unless you let them hit you a lot, so don't let them hit you a lot. And then all you have to do is get a minecart rail, pushing all the way up into that block, and then they'll fall right in. Perfect, easy peasy, super easy to set up the zombie in this. And make sure he is on that slab on the minecart. That is the perfect height to work with this carpet right here, so that these guys see him sometimes, but not all the time. And then the easy way to turn this thing off is literally just to break that. He's gonna hide behind this glass, and then these guys will no longer see him. It'll actually turn the farm off. As you can see, now they are able to sleep. All you have to do to turn it back on is power that piston. So now the farm is on again. You're gonna see iron golem spawn up there and then fall down. And you do need this block here. I forgot to mention, I did try to do this with just the trapdoors and put a trapdoor right there. But the villagers try to pathfind this way onto this block, and that actually makes it so that the villagers sometimes lose their bed, which actually breaks the farm. So I did find if you do just put 2 blocks right here, they're not going to pathfind in that direction, and they'll actually be able to pathfind to the bed a lot easier, and the farm has not broken once since I implemented this change in here. By far the trickiest part of this farm is working with those darned villagers. Those guys are really hard to work with, in all honesty. And what I suggest doing is making a little area like this where you can get them to get stuck inside this little area, right? Maybe even close this one up, and what you can do, make a staircase up here. Get the villagers in a minecart, get the minecart to come up this track just like this, and then once you get the villagers in the minecart. But yeah, anyways, as I said, they're really hard to work with, but you get them in the minecart, you shove them in here, you get in here with them, and you break the block, they fall right down. You're going to need to do that with 3 different villagers. You are going to need all 3 villagers in here. So if we spawn in the rest, there we go, we have them. I've done this a million times, well, okay, not a million. I've done this like maybe 5 times in survival, and I have found that that is the easiest way to get the villagers in there. That platform up above that's actually spawning all of the iron golems is going to be 1, 2, 3 on top of the carpet, just like that. That is the block. And then we're going to make this 7 wide. So you're going to go out 3 on each side, just like that. Make that 7 wide, and then make it 5 back. So just like that. So now it's going to be a 7x5 platform. I did just realize that this one is wrong. This one's only a 5x5, and making it a 7x5 will actually increase the rates a little bit. I've tested this out, and making it a 7x5 rather than a 5x5 increases the rate from 95% efficient to 97% efficient. As you can see, look at that. That guy already spawned up there. He was ready to go. So let me just turn this one off real quick so we can build this. And what you need to do is you need to build a wall up. Just make it 2 blocks high. And I recommend putting this wall here just so that these guys over here don't see the iron golem from there. You're cutting off their vision so that they don't see the iron golem spawning over here. And then just build this wall all the way around, just like this. I like putting in this little last row on the end like this, just putting the fence gates down. The fence gates are what's going to stop the water from actually flowing over the edge. You can take out all the iron blocks just like that. And then we just need to put our water down in this corner right here and this corner right here. Now when we turn this thing on, you can see the iron golem will spawn up here and he'll get pushed off and fall down below. And we also need to put this barrier right here. You need to build it out too. From that top right there, build it out too. That's going to make sure that these guys never die from lightning, no matter what you're doing with them. And this farm is essentially done. It's essentially done. All you need to do is add in the collection system underneath. Mine's very simple. I just put water streams going into a lava blade with a hopper collecting everything at the bottom. You can do whatever kind of collection system you want. You don't have to do that. So I'm going to leave that open to you. You can also just mirror the same exact thing on the other side. So yeah, this 1.16 iron farm is very similar to the 1.15 ones. They're just as efficient, just some minor modifications to my last video. Definitely check out my last video if you want to see how to make the collection system and how that used to work. But yeah, we also added in some protection against lightning. We also added the on and off switch, and we made it so that they no longer drown in the water when the beds are facing the wrong way. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, definitely leave a like and subscribe if you really enjoyed it, and I'll see you in all my future Minecraft automation videos, and see you in our adventures in Strangecraft. Well, cool. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.